Hello, welcome to my channel, Leah Decodes. Before you roll your eyes at the word submit, pause, because what I'm about to tell you has nothing to do with control, force, or ego. Real submission isn't obedience, it's trust, and trust isn't demanded, it's earned. The first attitude that makes a woman willingly follow your lead is calm authority, not loud confidence, not flashy dominance, calm, grounded, unshakable. The kind of man whose nervous system doesn't spike when she disagrees, pulls away, or tests him. Women are wired to scan for emotional safety before attraction deepens. When a man reacts impulsively, argues to win, explains himself endlessly, or gets defensive, her body registers instability. She may still feel attracted, but she will never relax. And a woman who cannot relax will never fully respect you. Calm authority means you don't rush to correct her. You don't interrupt. You listen fully, then respond with intention. You don't change your values to keep her interested. You don't panic when she goes quiet. You hold your frame. And here's the truth most men miss. The moment a woman senses that you are centered in yourself, she stops trying to control the interaction. She leans back. She follows your lead, not because she's weak, but because she finally feels she doesn't have to manage the emotional temperature of the room. That's when respect begins. This attitude shows up in small moments. You say what you want without apology. You say no without guilt. You don't overshare to prove your worth. You don't rush intimacy to soothe insecurity. You move at a pace that feels intentional. When a woman feels that steadiness, something in her softens. She doesn't need to challenge you to see if you're real. She already knows. Submission in this sense is her choosing to let you lead because your presence signals safety, direction, and self-control. And let me be clear, calm authority is built, not performed. It comes from a man who has structure in his life, purpose, discipline, a sense that he knows where he's going, even if the road changes. Women are extraordinarily intuitive. They can sense when a man is borrowing confidence versus living it. The former creates attraction spikes and crashes. The latter creates respect that deepens over time. If you want a woman to willingly follow your lead, your first job isn't to impress her, it's to regulate yourself. Because the man who can lead his own emotions becomes the man she trusts to lead the connection. This is why most men fail. They think dominance is about showing strength. But true dominance, the kind that sparks attraction and respect, is invisible. It's quiet, it's consistent, it's calm. It's a man who doesn't react to chaos because he already owns his inner world. And when she senses that, she leans in, not out. She submits, not because you demanded it, but because she knows she's safe, seen, and guided. And make no mistake, once she submits willingly, respect follows naturally, effortlessly, and powerfully. The second attitude most men completely misunderstand is emotional mastery, emotional restraint paired with emotional availability. It sounds contradictory, but it's not. Emotional restraint means you don't unload your chaos onto her shoulders. You don't vent every fear, every insecurity, every frustration and expect her to carry it. You don't collapse when things get hard or demand reassurance to feel whole. Emotional availability, on the other hand, means you are not closed off, cold, or unreachable. You feel deeply, you recognize your emotions, and you can express them without letting them run the show. Here's the truth most men miss. Women don't lose attraction for men who feel they lose respect for men who leak. When a man spills unprocessed feelings all over a woman, she unconsciously moves out of desire and into caretaking mode. She wants to nurture, fix, and stabilize him. And when that happens, desire fades. Respect erodes. Emotional mastery flips this. It signals that you can handle your internal world and your external world simultaneously. You are safe, predictable, reliable, and women crave that safety because biology programmed them to seek it. Emotional mastery shows in tiny, almost invisible ways. You listen without waiting to rebut. You respond without defensiveness. You don't need validation for your feelings. You don't beg to be understood. You feel, process, and communicate from clarity, not chaos. This balance creates polarity, a magnetic push and pull that women can't resist. Polarity is where attraction lives, where she willingly leans in instead of pushing away. And let's be honest, many men equate emotional availability with constant openness. They believe they must disclose everything to prove depth. That's a trap. Emotional availability is presence, not performance. It's the ability to engage fully without needing her to stabilize or reassure you. It's speaking from calm authority within your feelings, not letting your feelings dominate the moment. That combination signals security. That energy says, I feel, I know, I lead, and you can relax. This attitude also means you stop chasing approval. You don't seek validation from her reactions. You don't beg for love, and you don't hinge your mood on her attention. Ironically, this independence is what pulls her closer. Women are wired to follow a man who can carry himself emotionally and mentally without leaning on them. When she senses that your sense of self doesn't depend on her, she softens, she trusts, she leans in emotionally and physically. She chooses to invest in the connection, not out of obligation, but because you've created a container strong enough for her to safely open. Understand this. Submission is never about control. It's a choice. And that choice is made when a woman realizes she can bring her full self without fear, and you can remain fully yourself without collapse. That balance, rare as it is magnetic. It's respect, it's desire, it's deep connection, and it all begins with emotional mastery. The third attitude that makes a woman willingly follow and respect you is integrity under pressure. Most men fail here quietly without even realizing it. Integrity isn't about grand gestures or heroic moments. It's the consistency of your actions when no one is watching, the alignment of your word and your behavior, and the courage to stand firm when it's uncomfortable. It's easy to have standards when life is smooth, when attraction is high, when everything feels effortless. It's far harder to maintain them when she pulls back, challenges you, or disagrees. Integrity means you don't compromise your values to please her. You don't twist yourself into someone she wants you to be. You don't overpromise or future fake just to keep her close. Women notice this even when they act like they don't. They feel it in the subtle tension of your choices. If your beliefs, priorities, or standards shift based on her moods or reactions, she subconsciously questions whether she can trust you. Respect erodes because stability disappears and attraction is impossible to maintain when your character feels fluid instead of grounded. This attitude shows up in boundaries. You calmly state them and enforce them without anger, guilt-tripping, or neediness. When she tests your limits, which she will, it's not a battle to win. It's a test to see if you break yourself. And when you don't, when you hold your line with quiet confidence, she stops pushing. She begins to trust you. She begins to relax into the relationship knowing you are predictable, reliable, and principled. That's magnetic. That's the kind of respect that can't be faked. Integrity also shows in the little things. Doing what you say you'll do, honoring commitments, showing up consistently for yourself and for others. Women read these patterns instantly. They don't just want a man who talks about ambition or loyalty. They want one who lives it daily. A man who walks his talk without arrogance or showiness creates a sense of safety that no words can replicate. That safety allows her to step back, to lean in without fear, and to willingly give her energy and trust. Here's the deeper truth most men never understand. Women don't submit to control, dominance, or loud confidence. They submit to men who control themselves. A man with integrity is unshakable because his authority comes from within. It doesn't depend on the moment, her approval, or external circumstances, and that unshakable presence is rare. It's valuable. It commands respect without demanding it. A woman senses it, responds to it, and subconsciously chooses to follow because she knows it's safe. She knows it's steady, and she knows it's real. Respect isn't given. It's earned quietly every day in choices both big and small. And when a man combines calm authority, emotional mastery, and integrity, he creates a force that draws her in without pressure, without chasing, without manipulation. She submits willingly because she trusts him to lead, because he first learned to lead himself. The fourth attitude that creates deep respect and willing submission is purposeful direction. This isn't about money, status, or flashy displays of success. It's about trajectory. It's about knowing where you're going in life and moving toward it consistently with intention. Women are drawn to movement, to momentum, to a man who isn't drifting through life, reacting to circumstances, but instead shaping them. When a man drifts, hesitates, or waits for life to happen, she feels it instinctively and she unconsciously steps into the leadership role. Attraction diminishes, respect falters, submission disappears. Purposeful direction signals that you are a man who creates his reality rather than simply enduring it. It's visible in daily habits, in routines, in small but consistent choices that align with a bigger vision. You don't rely on motivation because you understand discipline. You don't postpone your growth because circumstances aren't perfect. A woman senses this energy immediately. It radiates stability and competence. And when she senses it, she relaxes. She no longer feels the need to micromanage your life or test your character. She begins to follow willingly because you are already moving forward with purpose. This attitude also shapes your interactions. You make decisions confidently. You consider her input, but don't delegate your responsibility to her. You act even in uncertainty and take ownership of the outcomes. Women unconsciously scan for this. If they sense indecision, hesitation, or reliance on them to choose your path, attraction fades. Purposeful men provide clarity, direction, and a sense of safety. That clarity becomes magnetic. When you lead your own life decisively, she can lean in without fear or doubt, trusting your choices. Purposeful direction isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. It's the daily pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Women respect effort far more than outcomes. Effort signals dedication, focus, and character. And character is the foundation of long-term respect. When a man builds himself consistently, he creates gravity. Women feel it. They lean in. They invest because they see someone who is growing, evolving, and refusing to stagnate. Here's the subtle but powerful truth. A man without direction creates chaos, uncertainty, and doubt. A man with direction creates security, attraction, and alignment. Women don't submit to men who are reactive or drifting. They submit to men who are intentionally shaping their lives. And the beauty of this energy is that it doesn't require manipulation, persuasion, or pressure. The woman's choice to lean in comes naturally. She follows not because she must, but because she sees value, stability, and purpose radiating from the man before her. Purpose is magnetic. Momentum is irresistible. And when a man combines calm authority, emotional mastery, integrity, and purposeful direction, he creates a presence that draws women in effortlessly. Submission in its truest form is a reflection of trust in that presence, and respect grows naturally around it. Strong, unshakable, and enduring. The fifth attitude, and the one that ties all the others together, is quiet confidence rooted in self-respect, not arrogance, not bravado. Quiet confidence is the absence of neediness. It's knowing your worth without advertising it. It's being comfortable in silence, in pauses, and even in uncertainty. You don't feel the need to fill every space, to explain every thought, or to perform to be chosen. You choose to. This subtle shift changes everything. Women sense it immediately. When a man moves through life grounded in self-respect, his energy signals security, stability, and reliability. And a woman instinctively leans in, trusts, and follows. Not because you demanded it, but because she feels safe and seen. Self-respect shows in the smallest actions. The promises you keep to yourself, the boundaries you maintain, and the way you honor your time, energy, and body. Women notice these patterns, even subconsciously. If you disregard your own worth, they will too. But when you carry yourself with dignity and discipline, respect is mirrored back to you naturally. Quiet confidence allows you to engage without clinging, to connect without desperation, and to lead without coercion. It radiates an irresistible authority that no words can replicate. This attitude also means being comfortable with loss, with detachment, and with walking away from people, situations, or relationships that don't align with your values. Most men fear this, and that fear leaks into interactions. But when you show that your happiness, stability, and purpose are independent of her attention or approval, it creates deep respect. A woman who senses this doesn't feel the need to control or test you. She can relax. She can submit because she knows she's choosing to be with someone anchored, intentional, and self-assured. Quiet confidence amplifies everything else. Calm authority becomes magnetic. Emotional mastery becomes irresistible. Integrity shines brighter. Purposeful direction commands attention. When combined, these 5 attitudes create a man who is rare, valuable, and unforgettable. Women are drawn to this presence naturally. Submission becomes effortless, not forced, and respect is a constant companion rather than a fleeting reaction. This is the dynamic that transforms ordinary connections into extraordinary ones. Now, here's a personal question for you. Think carefully and answer in the comments. If you could fully remove the need for external validation from your interactions with women, which of these 5 attitudes would shift your life the most? Write your answer below and let's start a real conversation. If this resonated with you, like this video, subscribe for more insights most men never hear, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this truth. Your next step toward becoming that rare magnetic man begins